welcome to HW News. Senior Congress leader and Lok Sabha MP Shashi Tharoor this week gave a very interesting statement. He said a Hindutva Lite or soft Hindutva won't help the party in Hindi heartland, as it was witnessed in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections as well. He also drew the comparison with Diet Coke and Pepsi Zero, and he said that such kind of alternate version of Hindutva that BJP is following will not help Congress. So today I am joined by our managing editor, Mr. Sujit Nair. We will talk about this. So what do you feel about Shashi Tharoor's comment? He said that this soft Hindutva, this sort of version of Hindutva will not help the party. Do you agree with that? Given the party's performance in Lok Sabha elections, or if I may say even the assembly elections in these particular states, Hindi heartland states, hasn't been that much, you can say promising.
See, Arti, you see, a good competitor is a person who can understand the weakness of his opponent as much as they can understand their strength. See, unfortunately, I think Congress has been simplifying things, absolutely simplifying things. So, what Congress says, BJP is winning because of Hindutva. Okay? So, if BJP is winning because of Hindutva, so there are certain set of people in Congress who says, okay, we will also talk Hindutva. So, you have the Shiv Vakt and and so on and so forth. So on and so forth. Okay. So they were also aping Hindutva and they were saying, listen now, because they are talking Hindutva. Then you have the second set of Congress. Okay, like people like Shashi Tharoor, who says that okay, they are talking Hindutva, so we will talk secularism. Okay. The first and foremost question that I have for all of them is, do you think that the current state of Bharatiya Janata Party or the place they are in is purely because they were selling some kind of a Hindutva? You see, Hindutva is what I practice in my house. I am a Hindu. I practice Hinduism in my house. The Hindutva that is seen in the road today is not what I practice in my house. It is a culture that Bharatiya Janata Party has created in this country. It's a culture. And that culture was not created by Narendra Modi. That culture was actually created by Mr. L.K. Advani, who is sitting at home now. Okay, this culture was created by him when he went out and did the Rath Yatra for Ram Janmabhoomi. This culture was created by him when he actually introduced Bhagwadharis, or those saffron-clad men and women, into actual active politics. It was introduced by him when Parliament saw a lot of Bhagwadharis sitting in the BJP camp as public representative. If you actually go back, it is not even him. It is also started by people like, in the RSS, when they started off. So anyway, it's not something that started off yesterday. It is not something that one fine day Amit Shah thought of an idea and then he did the idea and then he became popular and they became big and they won 303 seats. Congress decimated to 50 seats and Congress goes out and says, oh, it's all because of Hindutva. So now we'll also practice Hindutva. Or people like Shashi Tharoor say, no, not Hindutva anymore. I'm going to practice something new. I'm going to practice secularism. This is the biggest flaw of Congress and of competition. It is so oversimplified things. So that is my point of view on that. And secondly, I take strong objections to people, saying that, soft Hindutva, light Hindutva, big Hindutva. Hindutva is for crying out loud, what are you talking about?
Sir, what is the alternative to this entire Hindutva thing? As you said that they have to find something, but what can be that something, that some strategy or some ideology? Shashi Tharoor said that Congress has its own ideology in place. It's a secular ideology. It should go out and propagate that ideology to the people. And especially in the Hindi heartlands where the party, Saffron Party, BJP is seen taking everything. It is sweeping the elections in these states. Especially in these states, what can the Congress do to revive itself?
Arti, see, I'll have to go a little technical here. The current BJP has been built through the right-wing ideology. There is an ideology in place. And mind you, that ideology is not something that Amit Shah created or Narendra Modi created. That is happening since 1947. That's happening even before 1947, right from the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh to now, that ideology has been simmering, that ideology remains, that ideology exists. What LK Advani and company had done is they built that ideology into, they actually bought it into citizens' life space. They bought it into your life space and mine. They bought a Hindutva right-wing ideology to my home, to my religion, to my family. They bought it there. And that's what the biggest achievement of Bharatiya Janata Party is. When Kar Sevaks walked, I saw people from my colony, at least two of them, actually taking their bags and going to Kar Seva, to do Kar Seva. So they bought it to my home space, they bought it to my life space. Okay. Now that ideology existed. This ideology of Congress was actually in our life space when we had when Mahatma Gandhi, actually brought the freedom struggle to every person's house, where he said, listen, take your shirt, take your pant, which is imported from London, and come and burn it. When he said quit India, he bought that movement, he bought that ideology to my life space. Okay, that is actually getting people to form communities. That is how you form culture. So you have a Congress culture, you had a BJP culture, or you had a right-wing culture and you had a left-wing culture. That is when it comes to my home. Tell me, where is Congress? Sitting in studios saying that I'm secular, I'm that, I'm this, will it help? See, it has to come into my life space. The only way opposition can come back is if they create it cannot be outside of their ideology. There I agree to Shashi Tharoor. It has to be their ideology. It can't be like the current politicians, jumping from yesterday somebody else, that Kripa Shankar Singh jumped from Congress to BJP. Kal tak he was wearing khadar and he was saying, everything. See, the point is, that ideology that you have is what makes you a party. But that ideology has to be manifested into actual reality on ground. And if that happens, you have a winner.
But then Congress seems to be in a kind of a dilemma where other parties accuse Congress of being anti-Hindu, and then there are some people like Shashi Tharoor who say that Congress is playing soft Hindutva card. So there are critics from both the sides, and Congress seems to be kind of in a dilemma what to do, what is the ideology that they should follow.
See, Congress has an ideology, and that's as old as the right-wing ideology in India, or possibly older. So the fact remains that Congress ideology exists, and there are people still who believes in Congress ideology. But the fact remains that Congress somewhere has stopped professing the ideology which they stood for. You are right. They forgot what they stood for. They forgot what their ideology is. Okay. See, secularism is what? What do you mean by secularism? Why would you say that tomorrow Narendra Modi will come and say, we are secular, we are equally secular as you are? Where has there been any, what have I done which is insecular? What have I done which is not secular? I mean, you can debate, and one can debate till the cows come home. So these secular and communal and all these are words. What is actually real is when it manifests in my life. How do I take? They bought Hindutva to my life, where they said that, listen, Ram Janmabhoomi, Ram Bhumi ko banana hai, you have to go and put a brick into that. You have to contribute a brick. You are supposed to put a brick and make that Ram Janmabhoomi because it's your God. You better do it. My participation, they got me involved. They took it to my house space. They got it to my house. Okay. So now I had a choice. I would say, okay, I agree to you and I'll come with a brick, or I will say, no, here I don't want to get into this. But he bought it to my house for sure. What was the last thing Congress did? What did the last thing Congress did? And that's exactly what it is. Arti, that is exactly why Congress has been dilapidating. Congress didn't dilapidate in 2014, mind you. Congress started dilapidating in 2009. If Congress would have lost in 2009 and BJP would have come in 2009, possibly history would have been different now. Possibly history would have been much different. Possibly India wouldn't have been the way it is currently. But the fact remains that Congress won again. Jod Tod ki Rajniti, Congress won in 2009. But they lost all their ideology. So what are we blaming and who are we blaming? Today's BJP is yesterday's Congress. So there is nothing different. So the fact remains that all this talk is very good. all this thing that, let us get back to our ideology, let Shashi Tharoor first sit down and narrate what the Congress ideology is. That is the first thing you need to do. Because now the Congress ideology, possibly the ideology that Shashi Tharoor is narrating, and the ideology that Rahul Gandhi narrates, and the ideology that maybe Kamal Nath there in Madhya Pradesh is narrating, are three different ideologies of Congress. If not, then let's prove it to the country that the ideology is one, and this is the ideology 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see, wasn't it very clear to the entire country that abrogation of 370 was one of the core focus of Bharatiya Janata Party?
Yes, it was.
Wasn't it very clear that NRC was one of the core focus of Bharatiya Janata Party? Wasn't it very clear that, maybe right-wing thoughts, right-wing ideologies, building the temple is a core focus of Bharatiya Janata Party? They created their ideology very clearly. They marked it and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
They said that these are their goals.
Correct. Tell me 10 goals of Congress. See, when you go into Congress, they say, sabko, sabka saath, every people, in fact, they talk more about sabka saath and sabka vikas and all, nyay, sabko and all that. See, these are all good words. In advertising, we say producers claim. These are manufacturers claim. Nyay, very good. Sabko nyay, sabko khana, sabko pina, and all that is good there. All that is kind of nice words. Reality kya hai? And that's the problem there.
Well, definitely after the loss in 2019 Lok Sabha elections, there are several suggestions to the Congress party as to what it needs to be done. But definitely the first thing that it needs to do is find its voice as an opposition party in India.